Hi, this is Abe Wesley. That ain't even tells it like a TI is. Like my video, please give it a thumbs up. Like my channel, please subscribe. Topic I'm going to talk to you today about is Porsha for Real Family Matters, which I think this was episode. I think it was either episode. I think it was episode 3. I think it was in the episode 3, episode 4, where Porsha family where Portia's Family Matters came on this past Sunday, and it kind of continued from last week, where they showed little clips here and there what happened last week, and then they showed where where Lauren and Londie was still trying to explain to Portia about Dennis and the role, and then and then after that they kept on arguing back and forth. And then Lauren said, "Why is everybody so upset about a robe? It's just a robe, it's just a robe." And they kept on arguing, going back and forth. And then Portia stood up and said, hold up, wait a minute. I want to know what I want to know before we go on with this spiritual advisor forgiveness meeting. I want to know what everybody's real intentions was and why did they want to come on a trip to Mexico. And she said because a lot of people's intentions were not wanting to know everybody's true intentions. And then it flashed to Dennis, and Dennis said, "Well, Portia, you know why I really came on here to try to do co-parenting with you and Simon for Pilar. But what I am going to say is, Portia, it starts with you." You are part of the problem of why the family is not together. Stuff like what he say that for? Here come Storm interjected, telling no, here comes Lauren interjecting, telling Dennis that he can't talk about Portia. He done things in the past that kind of affected the family too. And then Storm is gonna also jump in the conversation and interject. And Dennis said, "Well, you be quiet, little girl. You can't tell me what to do. You can't tell me what to do." And she said, you need to shut up." And then Storm cussed out Dennis and then Dennis cussed her back out and said, "You need to shut up." And then they all got to arguing, and then after that, Portia took up for Storm and told Dennis, "Well, he is part of the problem." And Dennis said, I ain't got time to be dealing with this. I ain't got time to deal with this." And Dennis walked up and left the table and stuff like that. And so Mama Gina had already left the table a little bit earlier because she claimed that she couldn't eat shellfish because they were serving food after they had calmed down. And so everybody got to doing that. And so the spiritual advisor got to clapping her hands, and they got to clapping their hands and wooing, saying that was it. And then she gave everybody a forgiveness stick. And Dennis chimed in and said, "Well, I appreciate what you're saying, Mama Gina. I'm glad you're doing that." And then he chimed in and said, "Well, I wanna be forgiven for worrying about the small things. I'm gonna stop doing that. So I want to be forgiven for doing that." And then Portia jumped in and said, "Well, Mama Gina, me and you had a kind of disagreement, falling out, at the lunch table before we came." And she said, "Well, I know it's hard for you to forgive. It's hard for me to forgive for what you did to me too. So I got to work on that." And then they got to doing all that. And then Aunt Liz said, "Well, wait a minute. Everybody that came around and said stuff." And then Storm also said that she was sorry for what she said at the dinner table the night before, and so they were going to get around. They was going to get ready to end it, and then that's when Aunt Liz said, "Well, wait a minute, Lauren, you haven't said what you wanted to be forgotten for. I know it's some stuff that you need to get off your chest." You say, "Well, oh well, yeah, I go and get it." She said, "Portia, I hope this doesn't hurt your feelings or anything, but I want to tell you that I felt unappreciated and devalued when I worked for you, and that's why I told you that I couldn't work for you, and I told you I wanted to do my own stuff, and I wanted to do my own stuff." And then when Portia got in her confessional, Portia said, "Yeah, that was one of the reasons," and she did feel some kind of way because she said she thought that Lauren was a little bit maybe jealous or envious of what she was doing on Housewives, and how she got stuff, and like she was doing that. So she said she was glad that Lauren was able to do that, and I was glad too. And so after that, after that part, the show kind of really kind of fell a little flat for me, and stuff like that. And so it kind of ended when they went to the second dinner, and Portia's assistant was saying, former assistant was saying, "Well, Miss Gina, where is Dennis?" She said, "Oh, Dennis not here. He had an appointment. He had to do something." And so that's when Lauren pulled Portia to the side and told Portia that Dennis had a date, and he was on a date, and it was his date's birthday. And Portia got mad and said, "Well, she's not offended by it," so she went and sat down. And then Simon said, "Are you all right?" She said, "Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, I'm all right." And like Lauren said, she was offended because she really didn't want Dennis to bring a girl there. And so when she did her confessional, that's when the producer asked her, was you okay?" And she said, "No, not yet. I'm not that adult about it." And then the show went off. So next week you're gonna see where what you where Portia is gonna really kind of show her feelings. One last note that I forgot about the scene with Dennis and Simon. It was okay. They were talking about co-parenting, but you could tell that when Dennis tried to ask Simon questions about his wives, he didn't want to do it. Now this is the last and final note. This is A. Wesley. That ain't even tells it like a Ti is. I am out.